Welcome to today's edition of Crypto Corner at InvestorIdeas.com. News on what's driving the cryptocurrency market. Hello everyone, this is Sam Mowers here. Welcome to episode 780 of the Crypto Corner podcast. For news today, Grayscale Investments has started a campaign to prompt the SEC for a spot Bitcoin ETF. ICE has invested in T0, and Blue Sky Digital is expanding its Blue Sky Intel initiative. Just before we get into the news, though, a quick reminder that if you enjoy this podcast, to please feel free to share it or leave us a review. And as always, I recommend checking out some of the other podcasts on InvestorIdeas.com. This includes the Cannabis Podcast, the Clean Tech and Climate Change Podcast, along with many others, all of which will bring you up to speed on the latest stock news and trends in their respective spaces. Right, so digital currency asset manager Grayscale Investments has launched a campaign aimed at educating and encouraging American investors to submit comments on its application with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, to convert Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which trades on the OTCQX as GBTC, to a spot Bitcoin ETF. So far, only Bitcoin futures ETFs have been greenlit by the SEC. Grayscale CEO Michael Sonnenschein said, quote, "American investors should have a choice in how to obtain Bitcoin exposure. Every day I hear from investors who are patiently waiting for the familiarity and protections of a spot Bitcoin ETF. We will use the strength of Grayscale's brand and resources to continue to advocate for these investors and ensure that the investing public is aware of the unique opportunity they have to voice their opinions directly to the SEC, a critical part of our existing regulatory process." End quote. Intercontinental Exchange, Inc., which trades on the NYSE under the ticker symbol ICE and which is commonly known as just ICE, is making a strategic investment in blockchain innovation leader T0. This will see ICE's Chief Strategy Officer David Goon join T0 as its next CEO. Jeff Sprecher, the founder, chairman, and CEO of Intercontinental Exchange, said, quote, "David Goon was present at many of ICE's milestone moments and deals over 2 decades. A key player on our management team as we built our world-class trading, clearing, and data infrastructure and product line, and has been a steward of our problem-solving culture. David's leadership and his mastery of trading, data, and clearing technology will be a big asset as T0 begins its next chapter, leading the growth and adoption of next-generation market infrastructure." End quote. Blue Sky Digital Assets Corp., which trades on the CSE under the ticker BTC, has announced plans to expand on the overall scope of its Blue Sky Intel initiative. Blue Sky Intel is a moniker representing all of the company's R&D efforts. This includes DeFi, stablecoin, and AI initiatives. According to the press release, Blue Sky Intel will be expanding its original blockchain focus site to include a financial-related matchmaking service, bringing together funding and the need for funding for significant blockchain-related initiatives. The company's CEO, Ben Gelfand, said, quote, "We were surprised with the level of engagement and enthusiasm that our pre-launch Blue Sky Intel site received from users, and it reinforces for us what we've always said, that the blockchain is much more than just crypto mining, and we are expanding our efforts in response to what the real world is telling us." End quote. That does it for today's Crypto Corner. If you would like to be a guest or sponsor for this podcast, contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website. And this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products, services, or securities. Investors are reminded all investment involves risk and possible loss of investment. To hear more InvestorIdeas.com podcasts, please visit InvestorIdeas.com/audio. And a reminder, you can also hear our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Audible, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and most audio platforms available.